All right, let's talk about something that can completely change the game for you. How to speak English with real confidence. I'm not talking about just knowing the words, but speaking with power, without that fear holding you back. Let's jump right in.
You know this feeling, right? You're in a situation, you have something you want to say, and then it hits. Your heart starts pounding, your mind just goes completely blank, and you feel like you're shrinking. So you stay quiet. And then comes that wave of regret later. Trust me, you are so not alone in this. This is the experience for millions of people learning a new language. So here's a big idea. What if the wall you keep hitting isn't actually your vocabulary or your grammar? What if the one thing that's really stopping you is the fear of making a mistake? It's this thing psychologists call the spotlight effect, where you feel like everyone has a microscope on every word you say. But you know what? They don't. And realizing that, well, that's the key that unlocks everything.
So where do we start? We start with the most important part, your mindset. We're going to dive into what I call the brave English mindset. And it's all about one simple trade. You ditch the impossible goal of being perfect, and instead, you choose to be brave.
Just look at this. It lays it all out. On the left, you have perfect English thinking, which is basically a trap. It's a waiting game. It tells you to wait for some magical day in the future that might never actually arrive. But then on the right, you have brave English thinking. Now that's not a waiting game. That is an action plan. It says, I'm going to speak now to get better. It accepts that mistakes are just part of the journey. This is the mental flip you have to make.
And that's the core of it, really. Brave English has nothing to do with being flawless. It's a conscious choice you make in the moment. It's looking fear in the eye and saying, yeah, I know I'm not perfect, but I'm speaking anyway. You see, fluency isn't something you just magically achieve. It's built from thousands of these tiny, brave moments.
Okay, so you've got the mindset on lock, but how do you build the actual skill? Well, that leads us to our next part, your daily talk workout. Seriously, think of speaking English like a muscle. You can't just read books about weightlifting and expect to get strong, right? You gotta hit the gym. You have to train it.
And one of the absolute best ways to train comes from a pretty cool place, acting. How do actors make their lines sound so natural? They say them over and over and over again. They are literally training their mouths and their voices to make the sounds without even thinking. And we can steal their technique. It's called shadowing.
Here's how you do it, and it's so simple. Find a short video or audio clip. Just 30 seconds is fine. Listen to the first sentence, then pause. Now, repeat that sentence out loud. But don't just say the words. Try to copy the music of the sentence, the rhythm, the intonation. Do this for just 5 or 10 minutes a day. It's like doing push-ups for your mouth. You're building that muscle memory.
Now, who is the one person you can practice with anytime, anywhere with zero judgment? It's you! I know, it might feel a little weird at first, but this is a game changer. Just start narrating your life out loud. Okay, I'm making some coffee now. I'm walking to the train. You're building the habit of thinking in English, which is the secret sauce. Your brain stops translating and just starts creating.
But here's something most people completely miss. Confidence isn't just an idea in your head, it lives in your body. Think about it. When you get nervous, what happens? Your shoulders hunch up, your breathing gets shallow, you look down. Your body is screaming danger to your brain. To change your voice, you have to change your posture first.
So before you even walk into a conversation, do this super simple warm-up. Take 3 slow, deep breaths. It literally calms your nervous system down. Stand or sit up straight. That posture alone signals confidence to your brain. Relax your shoulders. Put a tiny smile on your face. These are physical cues that tell your brain, hey, we're safe. We got this.
Okay, so your mindset is right and your body is prepped. Now you need the actual tools for when you're in the middle of a real conversation. That's what this section is all about, your conversation toolkit, your secret weapons for any situation you find yourself in.
Think of these as your safety net. Your goal is to memorize a few simple, powerful sentences that work almost anywhere. Things like, hi, I'm learning English, or sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you say it again? Because when your brain freezes, and it will, your mouth can go on autopilot. These sentences are your anchor. They keep you in the conversation when fear tries to pull you out.
And this is the whole point, isn't it? Having practical tools that you can actually use is a million times more valuable than a head full of rules that you're too scared to try. These 5 sentences give you a way to start, a way to handle confusion, and a way to keep things moving.
All right, now for a strategy that might feel a little backwards. To be a more confident speaker, you don't always have to talk more. In fact, one of the most powerful things you can do is flip the spotlight onto the other person. And the easiest way to do that, ask simple questions and then just listen. Why are questions a superpower? Because they take all the pressure off you. You ask something simple like, "So, how was your weekend?" And suddenly, the focus is on them. It shows you're interested, it gets the conversation flowing, and while they're talking, guess what? You're getting a free live English lesson just by listening. It's a total win-win.
This brings us to our final and I think most powerful section. It's all about your commitment. We're going to boil everything we've talked about down to the one single rule that, if you follow it, will absolutely change everything for you.
But first, a radical idea. You have to fail on purpose. I'm serious. The fear of failure is the cage that keeps you silent. The only way to break that cage is to walk right up to it and prove it has no power. Go into a conversation knowing you might mess up a word. And when you do, and you realize the world didn't end, your brain learns a powerful lesson. Mistakes are not dangerous, and the fear just starts to melt away.
So, after all the techniques, all the mindset shifts, all the tools in our toolkit, it all comes down to this. One rule. The most important commitment you can possibly make on this journey.
This is it. Speak English every single day, period. No excuses. Even if it's just one sentence to yourself in the mirror. This isn't about willpower. It's about building a new pathway in your brain. When you do something every day, it stops being a difficult thing you have to do, and it just becomes part of who you are. Daily action is what separates the people who learn English from the people who speak English.
So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. This isn't about what you're going to do next week or next month or when you finally feel ready. It's about right now. Your future as a confident English